Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and we are here for the first race in Season 2 of the Hunt Brothers Pizza Busch Series from the Daytona International Speedway, and the command has just been given to fire the engines for the season opener in this offline, or should I say online series. We got Johnny Gardner in the number 17 starting on the pole alongside the 38 of JT Mayhew. We got ourselves, I believe, 13 guys competing in tonight's event. 80 laps from the Daytona International Speedway. And it's a pretty good night for a race here at Daytona. I'd like to thank Shane Lake for letting me do this opening event of the season. It's going to be a fun one here for these 13 drivers. Like I said, Johnny Gardner is starting on the pole in the number 17 alongside JT Mayhew. Row number 2 sees Tyler Mallon, the number 59, alongside the number 82 machine of Patrick Schaefer. Row number 3 sees the number 20 of Shane Sides alongside the 37 of Andrew Miller. We got ourselves the number 48 of Chris McLean alongside the 27 of Bob Sire. Number 30 machine of Cam Hart alongside Jeff Goodpaster in the 97. Then it's Shane Lake in the number 3 and Seth Cole in the number 44. So it is a 12-car field. I believe the 13th guy might have been me, so that's why I thought we had 13 here today. But we only got 12, but we got 80 laps of action here. The United Stock Car Racing League event here from Daytona. United Stock Car Racing Association. I'll get it right eventually. Well, we're ready to get this one started here. Should be an entertaining one from a super speedway. And, I believe this might be the first super speedway race I have recorded. Done the Armory Digital Race in Net Zero, but a lot of super speedway races I race in myself, so that's why you haven't seen many of them. Well, you're going to see one here tonight, and you're probably going to see a good one here from Daytona. We're Green Flag Racing in the Hunt Brothers Pizza Busch Series. And around, back in there, Seth Cole in the 44 machine, and Tyler Mallon. We saw him get into the outside wall. Will it bring out a yellow? Yes, it will. Somebody else around. Andrew Miller in the 37 got in the Chris McLean in the 48. And Goodpaster just ran right in the Miller. We might get a restart on this one, and we will. So one restart at their disposal. It's going to be right there. So we did all that for absolutely nothing. But either way, we'll get reset again here with Johnny Gardner on the pole position. And that is one rule with these online races. If lots of times if there is an accident on the first lap of the event, they will reset the race so that everybody can get a good, clean start on the first lap. It's kind of like the old overtime rule of NASCAR, where you want to get a clean restart. We want to get a clean start here, so that's why we redo it. So that is what occurred right there with those guys. So we'll get these guys to reset here. And the command to start engine should be here soon. They probably would get it faster if I got out there, but last time I tried to do that, I retired too quickly, and it kicked me out of the server. So let's hope that doesn't happen here tonight, but it shouldn't.
Drivers, start your engines!
Engines fired for the second time. And now we should be good to go. We did give you guys the starting lineup the first time, but we'll go over it again. Johnny Gardner on the pole in the number 17 alongside JT Mayhew in the number 38. We got the 59 of Tyler Mallon alongside the 82 machine of Patrick Schaefer. That's the number 20 of Shane Sides. He'll be starting alongside Andrew Miller in the number 37. Chris McLean in the 48 will be starting alongside Bob Sire in the 27. The Slim Jim machine of Cam Hart alongside the 97 of Jeff Goodpaster. And then the number 3 of Shane Lake alongside Seth Cole. So 12 cars in the field for this event. We should get an official start here. Hopefully they don't wreck it on this attempt, so that we can get this thing going here from the Daytona International Speedway. So the number 17, Johnny Gardner, grabbed the fastest time in qualifying. One little interesting note about this event, it's an open setup race, not a closed setup like a lot of other super speedway races are, so some guys will considerably be faster than others because of it. It's not a spec race, if you know what I mean, so that'll definitely create a very interesting show here from Daytona. That, the draft, the pit stops, and everything that would be involved, it's definitely going to create an interesting show here tonight for this 200-mile event from Daytona. Not as long as the Talladega race was a couple weeks ago, but definitely a long one, and we're going to be here for a while if this thing happens to bring out quite a bit of yellows. Given we do only have 12 drivers in the field, so hopefully that will not be the case here tonight. But we had fewer drivers in the field last week in the American Stock Car Racing League race at Las Vegas, and that thing took over an hour on a 54-lap event there. So we're just going to have to see how it all goes down. Hopefully it's a clean race, hopefully it's a fun race, and hopefully everybody out there has fun as well. The official green flag of the event here in the Hunt Brothers Pizza Busch Series from Daytona. This time a much cleaner start to the event. Johnny Gardner will lead lap number 1. That is a bonus point towards the championship for him. The point system is very similar to that of my offline leagues, if you guys follow those. It's 43 for the win, 42 for second, and so on, with a bonus point for a lap led and another bonus point for the most laps led. Very straightforward and simple, one of my favorite point systems to use. Here comes Tyler Mallon to the inside of Johnny Gardner, and you can notice the difference here. These cars, huge gap from the leader to third place. Shane Sides now runs in the third position with Andrew Miller and Patrick Schaefer behind those guys. The number 30, sorry, that's not the number 30, that is the number 38 machine of JT Mayhew. He hit the outside wall. He fell to the end of the field right there. Shane Lake is 11th. Cam Hart is 10th. Seth Coleman made his way through the field a little bit there. There's Chris McLean in the 48. He is 9th right now. Seth Cole is 8th. Jeff Goodpaster in the 97 runs 7th. With the number 27 of Bob Sire running in the 6th position. Gardner falling back in the 17 as he got passed by Tyler Mallon. Shane Sides, and around goes Seth Cole in the 44. It's a single car spin. I don't know if it will warrant a caution flag or not. It will. And Tyler Mallon wins the race back to the line in the number 59. And Seth Cole spun that thing around there through turn number 4. Thankfully, nobody else was involved. Johnny Gardner coming down the pit lane, however. I don't know if he has an issue on his machine or not. He's trying to find his pit stall. He's actually got the first pit stall here at the Daytona International Speedway for starting on the pole position. And I don't know if he'll be penalized for that or what. Tyler Mallon is the leader in the number 59. See if these guys come down the pit lane. Lap 4 of 80 here at Daytona. So far, an interesting event here. We've had 2 leaders so far, Johnny Gardner and Tyler Mallon, both getting bonus points here today for their lap sled here at Daytona. Check and see if these guys come down the pit lane. If they do, we'll follow that. If not, we'll see what happened to Seth Cole and hopefully get to the restart pretty quickly here. The Throwback United Racing Network race from Daytona. That's what TURN stands for. Probably can see that in the thumbnail, though. It is early on in the race, so I don't know if anyone's going to come down here. It looks like they will, actually. Tyler Mallon is going to fake him out. And Shane Sides, the first driver to come down the pit lane. If we do end up with a lot of cautions in this race, which hopefully we will not, this could mean to be a very pivotal point in the event. But then again, with only 12 cars in the field in a super speedway, and Shane Lake and Seth Cole getting into each other there. Seth Cole, not the brightest of days on the pit lane for him. Cam Hart, a bit of an issue with him getting onto the pit lane. But other than that, it seems like everybody else got in cleanly. Shane Sides will win the race off. Johnny Gardner had to slow it down because of him. 27 of Bob Sire gets out ahead of the 30 of Cam Hart, and then the 97 of Jeff Goodpaster will be behind those guys, followed by the number 38 of JT Mayhew, and then Shane Lake. And I'm thinking Seth Cole did come back out there. He, I believe, has lost a lap. I don't know if he'll get a lucky dog or not, considering he was the one who brought out the caution. Let's go ahead and see what happened to Seth Cole to bring out the caution here tonight. And this occurred on lap 3 of the event. The number 44 is spinning around through turn number 4. And he was on the pit lane for a lengthy time after this one as well. But we'll see right here. To the outside of Jeff Goodpaster in the 97. And he just lost it. Completely lost it. Car got loose entering 3 and hit the outside wall there. A little bit of front-end damage to his race car. That might have been the cause of him being down the pit lane for as long as he was in. But that was all there was to it. So the reason for the first caution of the event here at Daytona. So Tyler Mallon leads Andrew Miller and Patrick Schaefer. Seth Cole's going to come back down. I do believe he is a lap down because of that accident. And Seth Cole did actually have to get towed, as Tristan has said in the chat, so thank you very much for paying attention. Wasn't even thinking about that. But he's still in this thing, and one more caution. He actually overshot his pit stall just as I said that. Trust me, I know the pains of that all too well. Looks like JT Mayhew's also coming down. We saw him fall back. He was actually behind Seth Cole. I believe he was 12th before the caution came out. We did see him hit the outside wall earlier on the event. The pace car lights are still on. And it does not appear that the top 4 are going to come down. But you know what? They might. They might come down this time and stretch the gas as much as they can. That would give the lead to Shane Sides in the 20, who won the race off the pit lane. But it's Tyler Mallon, Andrew Miller, the number 82 of Patrick Schaefer, and Chris McLean in the 48. Shane Sides rounds out the top 5 with Bob Sire, Jeff Goodpaster, Shane Lake, Cam Hart, Johnny Gardner. Gardner is still on the lead lap. He came down the pit lane right when the caution came out. JT Mayhew and Seth Cole, who is now a lap down in the 44, and I doubt that they're going to give him the free pass because he was the cause of the accident. It's a bumpy racetrack. You can see Andrew Miller bumping around there in the 37. This is a worn-out surface here at Daytona, so These guys have to deal with that in this race as well. Could have been part of the issue with Seth Cole going around. Looks like Johnny Garner's going to come back down, and why not? Going to be at the end of the field anyway, might as well come down, get some gas, and stretch it as long as you possibly can. That's what JT Mayhew's going to do. He's been down the pit lane a couple times already in that number 38. Garner's actually staying out right there. Pace car lights are off, so we'll be going back to green next time by here at Daytona. Tyler Mallon trying to warm up those tires for this restart. A very good chance of them possibly spinning when we get to the restart. Single file restarts here at Daytona. So that should reduce the amount of chaos we could see in this event here tonight. I'm a huge advocate for single file restarts. I think that they are one of the better ideas that NASCAR took away a few years ago. For real life NASCAR, if we did single file restarts, we wouldn't have all these wrecks that cost the teams a lot of money. It would be a lot safer. I think it'd even be fairer for all these guys, because they get to start in the position that they were running in prior to the caution. Nobody alongside them, no disadvantage on being on an outside lane. There's a lot of beauty in these single file restarts, and we're going to see one happen right here with Tyler Mallon leading the field in the number 59. With Andrew Miller behind him in the number 37. We'll check to see if they did give the lap back to Seth Cole. According to this, they did not, so let's assume that is going to stay the same. But another caution. Seth Cole doesn't get involved in the caution. He is the first guy one lap down, the only guy one lap down. He would get the free pass, and we do have the lucky dog here in the Hunt Brothers Pizza Busch Series. I know it says X Series right there. It was initially the Hunt Brothers Pizza Xfinity Series, but we're using the Busch 98 mod. So it's got to be called the Busch Series. Got to keep it at its original name. Well, back to racing. Pace cars pulled off Tyler Mallon, Andrew Miller, Patrick Schaefer. Tap 3, we're back to racing at Daytona. Bit of bumping going on right there. Now these cars do not lock bumpers at all. They're not made to do that. These guys have to stay a little ways from each other. Doing a good job of that so far. Mallon remains out front. See these guys weaving their way through the corner. Of course, that's probably just a good old online lag that we get. You can definitely tell the difference between an offline race and an online race. These guys bounce around a little bit more. Bit of a push right there. Patrick Schaefer giving to Andrew Miller, trying to catch up to the 59 machine. Miller trying to go up high to get around Tyler Mallon. Mallon went up high. Miller's back down low, but Mallon's going to stay out front in the wall. Goes Andrew Miller. Schaefer's going to get to the inside of him. Chris McLean in the 48, looking to draft the 82, and Schaefer will get second as Mallon leads once again. Tyler Mallon's led the most laps in this race so far. Check in on Seth Cole. He is officially a lap down, but he might be racing to get his lap back in that 44. Boy, he's loose again and around. Second time tonight, Seth Cole has spun the 44 machine around, and that time it might end his night. They might call it a day in that 44 camp. They obviously do not have the setup figured out here tonight. Everybody else seems to be pretty solid. Haven't really seen any of these guys spin around by themselves. Oh boy, Shane Sides almost getting in the Patrick Schaefer right there. Thankfully, they kept it together. Miller fell back to fourth after all that, but Tyler Mallon just stayed out front that entire time. So a great run for Tyler Mallon here tonight. Looking to be the dominant guy of this event, looking to get the win. But, as you can see, the damage on the 44 is significant. And I would expect that 44 to possibly park it after that one, because that's the second time he's just gone around, and there does appear to be some damage on that machine this time. First time around, he just tapped the outside wall. This time, he slammed it. You can tell Seth Cole's got a beat-up race car there, but we were right with him when he spun around. We saw exactly what happened to him as it happened. The top 5 right now is Tyler Mallon, Patrick Schaefer, Shane Sides, Andrew Miller, and Jeff Goodpaster in the number 97. Bob Sire runs in the 6th position. Chris McLean runs 7th. According to the scoring, Shane Lake is in 8th, and Cam Hart, I should say, excuse me. Not used to these names yet, and I'm trying to read my handwriting, and apparently my handwriting says it's Hunt, but it's not. I have very bad handwriting. Looks like number 3 will stay out. Bob Sire is going to stay out. I think Sire is going to be the only one who stays out along with Shane Lake, and he will. Everybody else coming down. This will be the first pit stop for Tyler Mallon. First pit stop for the number 82 of Patrick Schaefer. First pit stop for Andrew Miller. And the first pit stop for Chris McLean in the number 48. There's 3 guys staying out right there. They include Bob Sire in the 27, Shane Lake in the 3, and the number 17 of Johnny Gardner. Seth Cole's off. Same with Cam Hart, the number 30 machine. Looks like he might have gone fuel only on that stop to gain some advantage. I think Patrick Schaefer beat off Tyler Mallon. So great pit stop there by Patrick Schaefer in the number 82. Mallon, Sides, Miller, Goodpaster, and McLean. And there's JT Mayhew in the number 38, last guy on the grid. Seth Cole's still out there. I think he is still 1 lap down. He didn't lose a lap after that accident. We'll go ahead and see what happened to him to bring out the second caution of the race. Both cautions have been because Seth Cole has spun himself around. We'll show it right here as it happened, and we were right with them when it happened live. The outside of Cam Hart, and it just went around on him again, right through the corner. Fortunately, no one else got involved, but a hard hit to the outside wall, driver's door first. And you can see the significant damage to Seth Cole's machine after that accident. Tough night for Seth Cole in the Bobby Labonte 44. Well, I know that because I know Tyler Mallon wanted to originally drive that machine, and it was taken. Mallon won the race back to the line, but he did not win the race off the pit lane. That was Patrick Schaefer, but we had some guys who stayed out. And it looks like Bob Sire's come down, which will hand the lead over to Shane Lake in the number 3. The Shane Lake leads it with Cam Hart in the 30. I should actually say Cam Hart won the race off the pit lane, but I think he took fuel only. Most of these guys did take tires, so I am wrong about that. Cam Hart won the race off the pit lane in the number 30 machine. I think, considering he was the cause of the accident, I do not believe that he will be given the free pass because he's caused both yellows. He's still a lap down. So Seth Cole, I'm assuming they're going to put him at the end of the line for this restart when we get it. But I'm not entirely sure what they're going to do there. So Shane Lake, Cam Hart, Patrick Schaefer, Tyler Mallon, Shane Sides, Andrew Miller, Jeff Goodpaster, and the 48 machine of Chris McLean. And Bob Sire, he came down the pit lane, so did JT Mayhew in the 38. Johnny Gardner came back down again as well. Thank you for watching here tonight from the Daytona International Speedway for the Throwback United Racing Network Hunt Brothers Pizza Busch Series. This run by the United Stock Car Racing Association. So far having a pretty decent show here tonight. Even though Seth Cole has spun around twice, I think they did give him a lap back. He went back around right there. So I think Seth Cole's going to be back. No, he's actually going to get just one of his laps back because he was actually 2 laps down. They're going to give him 1 back here. So he takes the waiver round. They will be coming to 1 to go right here, which means next time by, we'll be racing once again from the Daytona International Speedway. I hope to get a long green flag run in this race because the racing, it's a high probability of being very, very entertaining here tonight. The way these cars are set up with the open setup, anything is possible with these guys here tonight, so it's going to be fun to see you can get it done here. On lap 13 of 80. Not even a quarter of the way through this race here tonight from Daytona, but long green flag run would take a lot of that time right out. And considering how short of a field we have, we'd hopefully be able to do that. Of course, I remember that Talladega race. We had 10 cautions in that 94-lap event. Hopefully, we do not hit that here tonight. Hopefully. But we're just going to have to see how it all goes down in this one. And there's Seth Cole. Actually, you know what? They might. I think they're going to give him both of his laps back. Oh, that's a fascinating little decision off the officials. Of course, Shane Lake is the official for this race. He is the leader. But we'll have to hope that Seth Cole doesn't spin around on his own again, because both times it's happened, it's been on his own. Remember, this guy races with a keyboard. And for him racing on a keyboard, he does a great job, let me tell you that. I can't even do as good as he does with a wheel. But he's had his fair share of issues here tonight. Hopefully we keep it together. And they're actually going to add a lap here for Seth Cole as he gets back around. So we'll not be going back to racing this time. We'll be going back to racing next time by. And it does appear Seth Cole as well has repaired his damage, so we'll have to see if that helps him out. And I think he's got both his laps back. Watch him win this race, guys. What would it be if that happened? It would be something else. Andrew Miller is going to top off here on the 37. The only guy who did not come down that entire caution period was Shane Lake, and he's going to be the leader here. Lap 14 of 80. Still a long ways to go in this race. I think everybody still has a shot at victory. We'll have to see who gets it done here tonight as we close in on the finish. It'll be a while before we close in on the finish, but we'll get there. JT Mayhew, he's come down the pit lane, I think, at least 6 times in this race, but definitely getting those tires, getting that fuel in the machine, making sure you can make it. Johnny Gardner will be at the end of the field. Johnny Gardner was our pole sitter for this event here tonight. He did lead the first lap of action. I believe he led the first 2 laps. Tyler Mallon led a majority of the race. And the only other leader we've had, other than Shane Lake, Tyler Mallon, and Johnny Gardner, has been Bob Sauer, who stayed out for 1 lap and got a bonus point for that. So the number 3 machine holding on to the lead. We'll see if Shane Lake can hold on ahead of Cam Hart, Patrick Schaefer, Tyler Mallon, and Shane Sides. That's the top 5 as we finally getting back to the restart. They'll be on lap 15 of 80. About half of the race has been run under green, the other half under caution. Both cautions have been caused by Seth Cole, spinning around by himself. So truly no contact here tonight. Just Seth Cole with a very loose race car in that number 44. And he'll be restarting 11th and on the lead lap. They actually gave him both of his laps back. Johnny Gardner will be restarting 12th at the end of the field. And finally back to racing here at Daytona in the Hunt Brothers Pizza Busch Series. Shane Lake will take the green flag for the 2nd restart of the day. Cam Hart trying to get a push from Patrick Schaefer, not going on there. And Tyler Mallon on a rocket ship on the outside lane. Help from Shane Sides, and to the outside of Shane Lake for the lead. Now, I've raced with Tyler Mallon I've seen Tyler Mallon race, and if you had to give me one driver I would want on my team, if I ever had a team in NR, I know that doesn't really work out in these online leagues for the most part, but if I were paying one driver for me to do these races, I'd be paying Tyler Mallon. He is unbelievably good. And he showed it right there as he took the lead right away from the rest of the field. Shane Lake falling back just a little bit. That outside lane working pretty well. Shane Sides right behind Mallon for second. Patrick Schaefer and Jeff Goodpaster in the number 97, all getting around on the outside of Shane Lake. Cam Hart's still stuck behind the 3. Andrew Miller's back here as well. And in the wall, around goes Mayhew in the 38. Seth Cole lost it again, and the 38 got spun around. No caution. We're going to check and see if they do call it. I don't believe they will. JT Mayhew will spin it back around, and we will remain green here at Daytona. But Seth Cole got loose off the corner. Cam Hart, I think he got loose off the corner as well. He saved it. But Seth Cole, a lot of issues for him here tonight. And that's an unfortunate one there for JT Mayhew in the 38 machine. It's been a tough night for him. He has come down the pit lane multiple times, and Seth Cole getting loose off a turn 2, running into him. Back to the point. Tyler Mallon remaining out front. Patrick Schaefer, the number 20 machine, of Shane Sides and Jeff Goodpaster. The top 4. Andrew Miller is 5th. Then it's the 27 to Bob Sire in the 27. Shane Lake. And then Seth Cole there in the number 44. Johnny Gardner. Cam Hart. An issue with Chris McLean, I should say. Chris McLean in the 48 has fallen off the pace. And around again. JT Mayhew. That one might bring out the yellow. And I think it will. No. They're not going to call out the yellow for him. I think he might have been trying to get a yellow. That might be the end of his night. Tough break for the number 38 of JT Mayhew. As he went around a couple times, Seth Cole had come down the pit lane there. Now back to the point. Tyler Mallon still out front in the 59, with Schaefer behind him and Shane Sides running 3rd. The top 5 have pulled away from the rest of the field. Bob Sire has fallen off the main draft, and it's a 5-car draft for the lead here at Daytona. So no caution called out for the number 38 of JT Mayhew. And I believe that he might call it a night. He is still on the pit lane. Nobody's officially out of the race yet. But Mayhew is a lap down. He's the only guy a lap down. Everybody else is still on the lead lap. Last guy on the lead lap is Chris McLean in the 48. And you see him right there. He's had his fair share of issues here tonight. I think he hit the outside wall. He's got some damage on that race car. Cam Hart as well. He's fallen back. He is right now 9th. Seth Cole, I think, is on the tail end of the lead lap. He came back down the pit lane. Tyler Mallon's led the most laps so far in this event. Next time by, quarter of the way through the opening event of the season in the Hunt Brothers Pizza Busch Series from Daytona. All these guys behind him are trying to find a way around this 59, trying to gang up on him. You see these guys are pretty close to each other. Patrick Schaefer, Jeff Goodpaster, and Shane Sides, and they might get a run on him here. Watch out for Schaefer. He might get a run on the outside here. He's going to try to look. He's going to back it down and stay behind the 59. Some good racing out of these guys. Even though it's single file, you can tell these guys are hanging on for dear life. Very bumpy racetrack, very loose cars. Of course, it's open setup, so I can't tell you how loose these guys are because they're all going to be on a different scale of looseness. At the end of this pack is Andrew Miller. And they have put nearly 7 seconds on 6th place Bob Sire in the 27. For Sire, for Shane Lake, for Johnny Gardner, for Cam Hart, and Chris McLean, and Seth Cole. They're all going to hope for a caution. And I think they might have just gotten one. Patrick Schaefer went around. We're still green flag racing. I think he got spun off the 97. So we were focusing on those guys. And apparently Schaefer got spun by somebody, and now he's fallen off the main draft. Let's quickly replay it. Very pivotal moment in the event here at Daytona. And I think the pack split up. He hit the outside wall. And then Shane Sides got into him. So Mallon still out front. Jeff Goodpasser's trying to find a way around him. Now a 3-car draft. Remember, Shane Sides also got involved in that. He hit the outside wall. And now Miller running third, trying to push Goodpasser past Mallon. Trying to push anybody past Mallon's difficult, though. But you know what? There goes the 97. He might get a run to the inside. Cam Hart with an issue in this number 30. The Slim Jim machine is on the apron very slow. They're very, very conservative with these cautions. They're not going to call them out for everything here, so if you don't get it, you don't get completely stopped in the racetrack. If it's not for a huge accident or multiple spins on one lap, they're not going to call it out, and we've seen that so far tonight. And the 82 coming down as well. Patrick Schaefer, we saw him go around earlier. Number 30, Cam Hart, also coming down the pit lane. And it looks like JT Mayhew is back on the pit lane, or back on the racetrack. So that is the rundown so far. Mallon still out front. Jeff Goodpasser and Andrew Miller, the top 3. Shane Sides and Bob Sire, the top 5. Very eventful first 24 laps here at Daytona. That's all I can say. Mallon running up a little high on the racetrack. Here comes the 97 trying to get a run. These guys are staying away from each other, though. They saw what happened with Schaefer and Sides, and they don't want that to happen again between them. Andrew Miller drafting right behind Goodpasser. A lot of distance between the top 3 leaders, but all 3 of these guys still have a good shot. Patrick Schaefer has called it a night, and apparently he was upset about what occurred right there. So, tried to go on the outside, and he just overshot the corner and decided that was it. He was having a lot of issues in the practice session. Complained about not being able to turn the car too well through turns 3 and 4, and that could have been part of the issue here in this one. Number 30 of Cam Hart's a couple laps down. He came down the pit lane. And 38 of JT Mayhew is 5 laps down. But he's still out there in the number 38. Cam Hart's going to let him by. They appeared to get a lot fixed on that number 38 machine, so good job by those guys there. So Tyler Mallon still leading the field here at Daytona with Jeff Goodpasser and the 37 of Andrew Miller. Let's hit the outside wall right there. Shane Sides about 5-6 seconds behind. He's actually going to take this opportunity to come down the pit lane, lacking the brakes up, trying to come down. He's going to get it. 55-mile-per-hour speed limit here. And he is holding on to that exceptionally well, as you can see right there on our mile-per-hour marker. Or speedometer, I should say. I think that's what it's called. I'm such an idiot, I don't even know anything. That puts Bob Sire back and forth. And he is right now 16.25 seconds off the lead. Got Johnny Gardner running 6th, Shane Lake running 7th. They could possibly get a draft going here and try to stick with these guys. You know, the top 3, they've pulled away from each other, and they're not going to get that good draft anymore. Here comes Shane Lake, or Shane Sides, I should say. He's going to come back on the racetrack. Ooh, boy, almost got in the Miller there. That was not a safe exit. And the yellow, as Seth Cole again. Cam Hart spinning around in the 30. And that's gotta hurt for Shane Sides. But then again, I think he might be given the free pass. Race back, and Jeff Goodpasser's right all over the back bumper of Tyler Mallon. Not going to get around him, though. And Mallon leads lap 27 of 80 here at Daytona. So Shane Sides actually will get the lucky dog for this one. Only 7 guys on the lead lap when that occurred, including Chris McLean, and that's a huge break for him. That's a huge break for Bob Sire and Johnny Gardner and Shane Lake. They had all fallen off the draft, and even a huge break for Andrew Miller. He had fallen off the lead draft as well, even though that lead draft was only 2 cars. So number 59, Tyler Mallon, trying to get an extra bonus point for leading the most laps here tonight. He's got 1 for leading a lap, and so far he has led the most laps here tonight at Daytona. We'll see where these guys fall in place as they come down the pit lane for the 3rd time, 3rd caution of the race. Maybe the 2nd time for guys like Mallon and Miller. I think Goodpaster as well has yet to come down the pit lane. Cam Hart's going to get 1 lap back, take the wave around here. Either that or he might be calling the race. He's actually coming down the pit lane here, so I'm not entirely sure what the issue is there. There's Bob Sire, JT Mayhew as well. Johnny Gardner and Shane Lake had actually already come down the pit lane. That's an interesting situation right there. And I think the 48 as well, McLean, he decided to do the same thing. And the lucky dog right there going to be given to Shane Sides. Here we go for the leaders. Tyler Mallon. Andrew Miller almost getting in the Jeff Goodpaster right there, but not doing so. Remember, a couple weeks ago, Andrew Miller got the victory at Rockingham in the American Stock Car Racing League after Tyler Mallon had an EOL penalty at the end of the event because he called a caution when it didn't need to occur. We had some issues in that race. Carter Friesen was our race control manager while he was racing. He heard Tyler Mallon yell caution and threw it out, even though it was just a simple spin. You guys saw that event, you know what I'm talking about. It did not warrant a caution at all because he didn't even spin it around. He's such a good driver. He's too good to spin it around. Speaking of spinning it around, Cam Hart in the 30 with an issue. And speaking of Cam Hart, he was involved in an accident with Seth Cole to bring out the 3rd caution of the night. These guys are doing a good job, and even though we've only had 12 drivers in this event, we've only had 3 cautions in 28 laps. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Compare this to Talladega. You know, and got a much, much better run, but this is what happened right here. Seth Cole for the 3rd time. He's got the hat trick here tonight. I think he was actually reacting to Cam Hart there, who had spun off the racetrack and then got back onto the racetrack sideways, and the caution usually gets triggered, and you see that was actually the lead pack that was going by as Seth Cole went around, so that could have been disastrous for any of those leaders. But they're going to call the caution out if the car is sideways or stopped on the racetrack and there are cars coming right towards them. But it happens at the back of the pack, and there aren't any cars within, I say, a few thousand feet of them. They're going to keep it going. We saw that with JT Mayhew earlier on in the event. But Seth Cole has really had a bunch of issues tonight in that number 44. Going around 3 times might not be the last either, because we're not even halfway through the event here at Daytona. Tyler Mallon is the leader in the number 59 machine. Get back to live frame, and they have yet to get 1 to go. Mallon is the leader with the 97 of Jeff Goodpaster and the 37 of Andrew Miller. They're the 3 best guys at this point. They were the 3 guys in that lead draft the most of that run. Patrick Schaefer was also part of it, along with Shane Sides. And we saw what happened with those guys. Schaefer ended up going around as he hit the outside wall. No caution came out for it. And Jeff Goodpaster in the 97 has faded out, and I'm wondering if he had to go, and he might have, so that will affect the race big time. That'll put Bob Sire back in 3rd position. Shane Lake will be 4th, and then Chris McLean will be 5th. JT Mayhew, they might have given him a couple of his laps back. They're going to give him at least 1, I think. He was 5 laps down after all that happened to him in that green flag run from earlier. There's Johnny Gardner. He's going to take a wave around. Seth Cole's 2 laps down at this point. Cam Hart as well. There's Shane Sides. He has nothing to lose here. I think he's going to be the last guy on the lead lap here. Of 6 guys who will be on the lead lap. Actually, maybe 7. I think Johnny Gardner will also stay on the lead lap. But Shane Sides, remember, was one of those guys in that lead draft during that green flag run. So he's just going to top it off right there to make sure he can make it to the end. Or make it as far as he possibly can, I should say. Light should go out this time. Tyler Mallon still out front in the number 59 machine. His own version of Kevin Harvick, if you want to call it that, or even Kyle Busch, because, you know, both of those guys have had quite a few wins this year. 8 apiece. As an Alabama Crimson Tide football fan, I give major props to that. The lights out on the pace car. I'm wondering if JT Mayhew is just going to be on the inside here. It's a rule that I don't have in the offline leagues anymore here in Napa Fan, but I do believe that might still apply. Lap down cars on the inside lane. And that does appear what's going to happen here for this restart. Mayhew's not passing the pace car, and he's going to be 5 laps down on that inside lane. Seth Cole's going to be on that inside lane, and so will the number 30 of Cam Hart. They're all still in this thing. Actually, Cam Hart might not be in this thing anymore. I think the 30 might be done. But one guy who was running up front there was Jeff Goodpaster. He had to call it a day, apparently, and he has fallen out of the race. So now, that gives it to 6 guys on the lead lap, and they are Tyler Mallon, Andrew Miller, Bob Sire, Shane Lake, Chris McLean, and Shane Sides. Actually, Johnny Gardner's also on the lead lap. I keep on forgetting that. My apologies, Johnny. He's the guy who actually helped make this possible. Kind of the contact guy for me. Let me know about this, and glad I'm able to do it here tonight. A couple weeks I won't be able to because I'll be working at 10:30. Good old Longwood Christmas. If any of you guys want to go to that, just go to it. It's pretty. It really is. I was in the IWOS race last Wednesday night, had the Longwood Gardens car. That was pretty cool doing that, but I was only able to race a few laps, unfortunately. Back to racing here at Daytona. 49 laps to go in the Hunt Brothers Pizza Busch Series race. Mallon with the jump. And JT Mayhew. I keep on wanting to say JT Hanley. The reason why is because he was in one of my IROC events a couple years ago. And when I see the JT, I think of Hanley. But it's JT Mayhew who's actually leading the field 5 laps down, probably 4 laps down at this point, because he is ahead of the leader. Andrew Miller almost got to the inside of Tyler Mallon, could not do it. Mallon's on the outside now. Miller is going to stay with them here and dive to the inside. Number 37 trying to push Mayhew past the inside of Mallon so he can have a shot at the lead. Oh, and you know what? Miller's got some help. That inside lane is formed up. There's nobody up on that outside with Tyler Mallon. Great job by Mayhew. He's now only 4 laps down, and he's going to be able to clear him. Tyler Mallon wanted to be able to clear Andrew Miller, so he poked his nose right in front of him. And Mallon's going to remain out front as he's back on the inside with the full drafting help. Bit of an issue back here. Johnny Gardner on the inside, Shane Lake. They have fallen off the draft. The 6 guys, actually only 5 guys I should say, on the lead lap in this draft. Mallon's going to get to the inside of Mayhew. Going to put him back another lap down. There'll be 5 laps for the 38 of Mayhew. And Seth Cole's in the middle of this pack as well, and he has been the cause of all 3, oh, excuse me there, all 3 cautions here tonight. Excuse me. That shouldn't have happened. Tyler Mallon still leading the field. Mayhew, oh boy, Seth Cole again, but this time it's going to collect Shane Sides, but he saved it. He's going to hit down to the inside of the racetrack, and no caution should come out for that one, because he was behind the main draft, and Shane Sides again. He got caught up with Patrick Schaefer earlier on. And he got caught up with Seth Cole right there. He might not be out of this one, though. He's drafting with Chris McLean in the 48 right now. Bob Sire still part of this pack. Andrew Miller second. Tyler Mallon with a lap car in between him and second place. Here comes the 38 machine. He could be the factor in who gets this victory if this thing happens to stay green long enough, because Mayhew, it's a 5-lap down machine right there, but he's definitely just as fast as these leaders. And he's going to try to get to the inside of Tyler Mallon, and he's going to do so. He might bring Andrew Miller with him. I don't know if the setup on Miller's car is as good as the 59. There's Seth Cole. We saw him spin around, and I think right here he's going to wait for Johnny Gardner and Shane Lake. Then put that 44 to the pit lane, and he actually triggered the yellow for that. So the caution back out here at Daytona because Seth Cole stopped on the racetrack to get down the pit road. And I think Mallon was able to stay ahead of the 38 machine of JT Mayhew. Miller is still going to be second. The 27 of Bob Sire is third, and Shane Sides back in this one. I think Shane Sides has a very good race car. I think he's a good shot at winning this race, but he's gotten caught up in two incidents, I should say, and it hasn't worked out too well for the number 20 so far. Race back to the line, won by Mallon, as we saw what happened to bring out the caution. Seth Cole stopping on the racetrack to come down the pit lane. He wanted to let everybody around him, so he basically stopped on the racetrack to let it happen. I'd like to apologize once again for burping live on air. That is very unprofessional of me, but that's what happens when you have spaghetti and meatballs for dinner. So yeah, thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. Tyler Mallon holding on to the lead in the 59. He has led the most laps so far. Miller right behind him. This is the fourth caution of the event. We're going to be halfway by the time we get back to racing, so gonna get a good amount of racing in right here, I do believe. And Seth Cole, that is the fourth one for him. I don't know, man. Why are you still out there? He's 3 laps down at this point. He's 8th. I mean, he's trying to get as many points as he can. You have a big wreck, you know. He could theoretically finish second in this race. Theoretically. He could theoretically still win if they give him all his laps back. I don't know how he can win with the way he's been spinning that 44 around here tonight, but he's been holding on. And, Seth Cole, well, sorry, he hasn't been holding on because he's spun around quite a bit, but Seth Cole, he has been the cause of all 4 cautions in this race here tonight. Quite unlike him, but the setup on that car, just not what it needs to be. Leaders down. Tyler Mallon in the 59, Andrew Miller. Bob Sire stayed out. He's got another lap led right there. Shane Lake also down. I think the winner of this race is going to either be Tyler Mallon, Shane Lake, or Andrew Miller. I think the battle is truly going to be between Mallon and Sides. Excuse me, not Shane Lake. Shane Sides in the number 20. If I've been calling him Lake this whole time, why do you guys have to have the same first name? Andrew Miller just won the race off the pit lane. That's huge right there. He just took Mallon off the top spot, and Mallon's proven to be a tough guy to pass here tonight in that number 59 machine. JT Mayhew still out there. Bob Sire, Chris McLean. 1-2 at the moment. They're the only 2 guys on the lead lap who stayed out. Number 44 is Seth Cole, 4 laps down now. Cam Hart in the 30s, 6 laps down. Mayhew is only 4 laps down at the moment. The 97, Jeff Goodpaster in the 97. He was one of those guys running up front earlier on in the race. He has since retired. And then Patrick Schaefer, also out of the race in the 82. Saw him have an issue earlier on. Got caught up in a spin with Shane Sides. My apologies, I've been calling Shane Sides Shane Lake. I don't know these guys too well. I know they're both Shane. I just can't remember which one's which. I mean, I know which one's which, but I want to keep on wanting to say Shane Lake because he's the guy who's running this league. He's the name I've been hearing all this time, but then you got Shane Sides in here in the 20. By the way, Shane Lake's still on the lead lap. We really haven't seen much of him in this one here tonight, but he's still going on there in number 3. Looks like Bob Sire's going to stay out here. And he will. Pace car light's still on, which means we will restart probably at exactly halfway of the event here in lap 41 of 80. So, it is Bob Sire, Chris McLean, Andrew Miller, Tyler Mallon, Shane Sides, Shane Lake, Johnny Gardner still in the lead lap. Seth Cole, the only guy down right there. Actually, sorry, Mayhew also came down, but they're both multiple laps down. This race is presented by Jules Bipolar. I don't know what they are, but Shane Lake told me to put it on, so I did. And there it is on the ticker. Lap 39 of 80. Bob Sire still leading the field. He stayed out under that caution. Same with Chris McLean. So we really haven't seen a lot of these two guys. We really don't know what they're capable of. Now, it is possible they could come down this time. Could be a strategy play out of these guys. But if they do, in fact, restart in the top 2 positions, it's going to give us an entirely different outlook on this event. Andrew Miller on the apron. Is there a problem on that machine? He could possibly be topping off or trying to get a shorter distance on the racetrack to save fuel. That might be what he's trying to do, or he might have an issue and might be coming down. It looks like Mayhew and Cole are going to come down again. And Johnny Gardner in the 17 is going to stay out. So, the only guy of all these that you see on your screen who is any form of lap down is Cam Hart in the 30. He'll be on the inside here. He's had his fair share of issues. As you can see, 6 laps down for him right now. And then Seth Cole and JT Mayhew will also be on that inside lane. And it will, in fact, be Bob Sire leading the field in the 27. This is going to get a little interesting here. So we have not seen Sire restart the race in the first position. And even Chris McLean, really don't know what these guys are capable of. We haven't seen him run up front in this event. But you know that the strong cars in this race are Andrew Miller, Tyler Mallon, and Shane Sides. And they're restarting 3rd through 5th. Shane Lake will be restarting in the 6th position. I don't know about Johnny Gardner here. He's on the apron. I don't know if he's got an issue or not. But we'll have to see what goes with that 17. They will be restarting this time, but I think he is letting Mayhew and Seth Cole get around him. As Johnny Gardner's had his fair share of issues here tonight. He was our pole sitter. He'd start this race from the 1st position here tonight. And he was, in fact, letting Seth Cole and JT Mayhew drive by. So good by Johnny Gardner to do that there. We'll be halfway through the Hunt Brothers Pizza Busch Series race from Daytona right here. And exactly halfway on this restart with Bob Sire leading the field in the 27 and Chris McLean running in 2nd with Andrew Miller, Tyler Mallon, and Shane Sides. Cam Hart JT Mayhew on the inside. Seth Cole's also multiple laps down. He's choosing to start behind the leaders. Halfway through the turn race here at Daytona. And I think Andrew Miller gave way to Tyler Mallon. And look at Mallon on that outside lane, 3 wide. They take the restrictor plate out of this thing. Of course, we actually do not race with restrictor plates, I do believe. Oh, and in the wall goes Mallon, Cam Hart. On the 59 around, Andrew Miller as well in a huge wreck down the backstretch here at Daytona. Shane Lake, Shane Sides, Chris McClain. The only guy who didn't get involved in that one was Bob Sire in the 27 as he was ahead of all this when it happened. Cam Hart, multiple laps down, got into Tyler Mallon. Mallon hit the outside, came back down, and the big one here at Daytona for our 5th caution of the night. And for the first time tonight, the caution was not Seth Cole's fault. Unbelievable. That changes the entire complexion of this event. Andrew Miller got spun around, but I think he survived for the most part. There he is. I don't know if he got any damage or not. A lot of these guys simply spun. Somebody went upside down, though. I think it was Shane Sides in the 20. JT Mayhew in the 38. Literally everybody behind that got involved. There is Johnny Gardner in the 17. And Bob Sire, literally the only driver not to be involved in that accident. How in the world? That strategy worked out very well. He stayed out under that caution, so he wasn't behind all of that when it happened. And he is now the only car out there without any damage to his race car. How about that for Bob Sire in the 27? Andrew Miller won the race for second to the line. Shane Lake, Tyler Mallon, Shane Sides, Johnny Gardner, and Chris McClain is how they lined up. I don't think Mallon has a lot of damage, but he might have a blown tire. He's definitely going to come down. You know, Bob Sire's the only guy who doesn't need to come down here. Shane Lake's coming down. Shane Sides is coming down. I would assume they would all be coming down, considering they were all involved in that accident. Bob Sire's just going to stay out and be like, you know what? I'll let you guys come down. I'll let you guys wreck. I'll just drive away and win this thing. Too bad for him. He ended up with a caution, and a lot of these guys are probably not going to be affected too much. We run with moderate damage for this. For a lot of these online races, I should say, and you can take a pretty big hit and still run just as fast as everybody else here, so very tough race cars here for this event. Number 37 machine. Andrew Miller, the first guy down the pit lane, and I'd expect these guys to be repairing damage, and Shane Sides, I think he flipped around, flipped upside down. Miller will win the race off the pit lane. He'll restart second, most likely. Chris McClain's going to be third when we restart. Tyler Mallon will be fourth when we restart. Shane Lake will be fifth when we restart. And Shane Sides will be sixth. Johnny Gardner in the 17. I don't know if he came down. I don't think he did, but I think he let all these guys drive past him. Cam Hart was the guy who caused all this one in the number 30 machine. We saw a full head of steam from Tyler Mallon on the outside lane. And Cam Hart just lost it through the corner and got into him. He was not prepared for that 3-wide situation. He was in the middle of it. Actually on the inside of it, but I think he shot up the racetrack and he got in the Chris McClain. Or did he? I don't know if this was Cam's fault. Yeah, it was. He was in the middle of that. He slid up the racetrack, got in the Mallon, and you just see what ensues. Everyone behind Bob Sire getting involved in Shane Sides going upside down. Tyler Mallon in the 59's probably not too happy. I don't think anyone is happy with Cam Hart after that one. He was 6 laps down in the middle of all that, causing that accident that involved every single lead lap car except the leader, Chris McClain. Shane Sides saw him go upside down, Johnny Gardner, and it also involved JT Mayhew and the number 59 of Tyler Mallon. We saw him. It also involved Seth Cole. It involved Shane Lake. This definitely deserves a couple more replays here. We'll actually slow it down. We see the number 30 machine here. He's on the inside lane. He's got JT Mayhew right behind him, and Andrew Miller's got 2 lapped cars ahead of him. He was trying to find a way around Mallon here. And you see Cam Hart just slide it up right in the Mallon. Mallon hits the outside, bounces off of Hart again. And at that point, they could have saved it, but Mallon was unable to. Cam Hart goes around, and then Mallon comes back down, gets into Hart again. Hart spins around Mayhew. Then McLean spins around Andrew Miller back in there, and this right here. Shane Sides upside down in the 20 machine. Shane Lake was behind all that. I think Seth Cole might have just stopped. But Johnny Gardner and the 37 of Andrew Miller's just simply spun as well. And I think even Tyler Mallon just had a simple spin. Same with McLean. I don't think a lot of these guys gained significant damage. And even Shane Sides should be able to continue because I don't see much damage on the race car except for what's on the right side there. And I think that was probably because he hit the outside wall behind Tyler Mallon. But he flipped around. He flipped upside down. Shane Lake also spun around there. And, you know, Bob Seider was literally the only guy on the entire racetrack that did not get involved in that one. The only guy. And now he's the leader here at Daytona. How about that for the number 27 machine? It works in the favor of Andrew Miller, though, because he's now going to be second. I'd expect Cam Hart to be done for the night after that one. Going to leave us, I think, with 9 cars left in the race. Will end up being Cam Hart, Jeff Goodfaster, and Patrick Schaefer, who are all out after that one. And I'm assuming Cam Hart will be out after that incident. But I'm wrong, so Cam Hart will still be out there, but he's probably going to be sent to the end of the line after what ensued right there. Thankfully, it did not knock anybody out, but just think about what that could have been. That could have completely taken out Tyler Mallon. I saw Mallon get involved there. That's just like Kevin Harvick. Say he's dominating a race someplace. And we all expect him to win. He blows a tire or something like that. Heck, that's what happened yesterday in the Phoenix race. He was the guy expected to win. Blew a tire at the end of the first stage and wasn't able to fully recover from it. It's still got a great finish, and I'm glad he made it in. I'm not a Harvick fan at all, but let me tell you, that Championship 4 is very deserving of being the Championship 4. If you look at the actual point standings, they are the 4 most consistent drivers all season. It's going to be one heck of a championship race Sunday, and I'm looking forward to seeing who gets it done. Going for my birthday boy, Mark Truex Jr., born on the same day. Well, not the exact same day, but we have the same birthday on June 29th, and I'm looking forward to him possibly getting 2 championships in a row. But if I had to tell you who I thought was going to win, I'd say Kyle Busch, and I think he is most deserving out of all of them, as he has had the most consistent season. We're just beginning the season here for the Hunt Brothers Pizza Busch Series, and I do believe Andrew Miller will be taking over the broadcasting rights in the future for at least a few of these races. I know I won't be able to for a while, probably until January comes back around, but hey, still good to be here, still good to do this race, and good to go for our 5th restart of the race. Only 5 cautions so far in 45 laps, so hopefully we can turn those cautions off and keep on rolling here at Daytona. Maybe race this thing green the whole way through. Number 27, Bob Seider still out front. Now, he's a threat now to Tyler Mallon for getting the most laps led in this event, and that's an extra bonus point for whoever does it. So watch out for Bob Seider possibly doing that here tonight. Andrew Miller on the outside. Chris McLean. I'm telling you, the setup on Mallon's machine is unbelievable. He's working that outside lane with no drafting help, driving around these guys who are drafting. Getting a little aggressive right here. There it goes. Shane Sides to the inside of Chris McLean. Shane Lake falling off a little bit. Same with Johnny Garner. They're both still on the lead lap, but they're both a little ways behind. Andrew Miller, Tyler Mallon on the outside here. Miller looking low. Mayhew right ahead of him. a lap down machine, trying to find a way around Bob Sire. He's going to push him. Andrew Miller in the 37's yet to lead a lap in this event. He's going to get to the inside there, and he might get to the inside of Mayhew, and he just put Tyler Mallon behind the 27. Oh boy, and around goes Mallon once again. He'll save it though, and no caution. Oh, but another wreck, hard on the outside. Shane Lake in the number 3. And Cam Hart again, Seth Cole again. My, oh my. That was a saving grace right there for Tyler Mallon. For the lead, Shane Sides and Andrew Miller. Miller trying to get that bonus point for the lap led. While I don't know if he's racing for the championship, he will get that bonus point nonetheless right here. So Miller, Shane Sides, Chris McLean, Bob Sire fell to 4th after all that. Johnny Gardner's now 5th. Tyler Mallon down the 6th, and Shane Lake hit the outside wall significantly in the number 3 machine. Cam Hart again. Seth Cole, that's at least the 4th. Actually, it's the 5th accident, 5th anything he's been involved in this race. Andrew Miller leading the field. And there's the number 30 of Cam Hart. He's obviously got some issues there. Shane Lake, he took a hard hit to the outside wall there, but thankfully, like I said, we run moderate damage here, so nothing too significant for these guys when they hit the outside wall like that. Lap 48 of 80 here at Daytona. Oh boy, that might not have been an accident. We're going to have to replay this one and see what happened there. JT Mayhew getting him to the number 3 of Shane Lake. And that actually gained quite a bit of damage on the number 3 machine right there. So we'll have to see what goes on after that one. That might kick the 38 out of the event. Let's go ahead and see here. I'm actually going to make sure these guys come down the pit lane if they do come down. And it looks like it's just going to be Johnny Gardner and Tyler Mallon. We did see Mallon go around and hit the outside. He's got some damage to that number 59. He'll get it repaired right here, but leaders stay out. Andrew Miller stays out in the 37, so he will restart when we get back to racing. Only 6 cautions in this race after 48 laps, so not too bad, but majority of this run time on the air has been under caution. So we'll see here of the 59. He was the first guy to have an issue, and he tried to cut down on McLean, and McLean has had nothing to do. He had to come up. He was hitting that apron, and while going below the WO line is legal. Now, I don't understand why the number 38 of Mayhew is upset with Shane Lake, because Mayhew wasn't even close to being involved in that accident. He was ahead of all that, and I'm wondering if he just lost it off the pit lane. But we see right there with the number 3 of Shane Lake. Mallon goes around ahead of him, and for the most part, they should have been able to avoid it. Cam Hart just cleared the 3 and then shot Lake into the outside wall hard. The 44 of Seth Cole was an innocent victim in that one. That's why he went around. JT Mayhew, we're going to see what happened with him, because there was no reason for him to shoot up the racetrack like that as he was coming off the pit lane. Came right into Shane Lake. We're going to have to see if he lost it or something. Oh. He had to avoid something, and yeah, that was an accident. He completely lost it. So he hit the number 3 of Shane Lake right there. And that might take Lake out of the race because he's got some significant front-end damage to his race car. It's been an interesting one here tonight. Shane Lake is officially out of the race because of that. See, it's Shane Sides coming down the top off. So Miller is going to have Chris McLean behind him. Bob Sire is going to be 3rd. Tyler Mallon will be 4th. Johnny Gardner will be 5th, I do believe. But we've seen Gardner fall to the end of the field a lot in this event. So let everybody by. Cam Hart's still out there, 9 laps down. Mayhew is 9th, only 4 laps down. Seth Cole's only 3 laps down on the number 44. Lap 50 of 80. We're going to be hitting under 30 to go here at Daytona, so it's closing in pretty fast here at Daytona. The Hunt Brothers Busch Series. Hunt Brothers Pizza Busch Series. Throwback United Racing Network. Should be restarting next time by. The pace car lights are still on. And Andrew Miller right now leading the field here at Daytona. Tyler Mallon is definitely the guy to beat him in this race. Has been the dominant guy, but he's had his fair share of issues. Past 2 cautions, he's gotten spun around in the outside wall. I will say the last accident was sort of his fault. He came down to McLean, and McLean had nothing to do but shoot up the racetrack to avoid spinning around on the apron. He had to come up on him. But Mallon's still in this thing, as he's now running 3rd as Shane Sides came down the pit lane. Top off on fuel. Bob Sire as well. Bob Sire was actually the guy ahead of all those, and he was 3rd. He overshot his pit stall right there. There's number 20. Shane Sides will win the race off. He was upside down a couple cautions ago. He's still on the lead lap, still in this thing. 6 guys on the lead lap now. They include Andrew Miller, Chris McLean, Tyler Mallon, 27 of Bob Sire, 17 of Johnny Gardner, and the 20 of Shane Sides. Only 6 guys in contention for the victory here tonight. Have to see which one of them gets it done. The leader of those guys right now is Andrew Miller in the number 37. I've never officially seen him win in our race before. When we were doing that race a couple weeks ago for the American Stock Car Racing League, we didn't know what the result of the race was going to be until next week. But I've never seen Andrew Miller legitimately just flat out win a race before, and I would love to see it. Good friend of mine. It'd be kind of cool to see him get the victory if he were to do so. But how about Chris McLean? I mean, he's been a huge dark horse here tonight in that number 48 machine. Fell off the draft during our longest green flag run of the night. And since then, he's kind of just found his way, stayed on the lead lap, and is now running 2nd. Here tonight, right behind Andrew Miller, as we're coming to 29 laps to go at Daytona. Andrew Miller leading the field. This could be the final caution. Who knows? The way these things go sometimes, these guys might have finally figured it out. But with the way it's been going, after 6 cautions, I don't know if that's going to be the case. Anyways, we're back to racing at Daytona. Andrew Miller leading the field of the green flag for the 6th restart of the race. And once again, Mallon not wasting any time. He will stay behind Miller for now, but not for long. And there he goes, right to the inside of Andrew Miller for the lead. So Andrew Miller falling back to 2nd. Chris McLean. Johnny Gardner with a bit of an issue there, trying to stay with him. Got JT Mayhew and Seth Cole. All the lead lap guys are currently ahead of the lap down guys, so hopefully we can keep it that way. Those lap down guys have caused a lot of issues here tonight. They've been the reasons for the cautions. JT Mayhew trying to find a way around the 20. He is, as you can see on the leaderboard, 4 laps down right now. Seth Cole's only 2 laps down. Cam Hart is 9 laps down, but it might as well be 10. Mallon way up the racetrack through turns 1 and 2, and Andrew Miller with a draft. And he is going to close in a little bit. Chris McLean still behind him in third. JT Mayhew's got a fast car even though he's 4 laps down. And remember, Shane Sides still in the lead lap. Johnny Gardner as well. He has been off the pack pretty much this entire race, and around goes McLean. He got spun off by Shane Sides. Will it be a caution? Yes, it will. Bob Sire actually lost the draft right there, apparently. Mallon wins the race back. Caution number 7. That's a tough break for Chris McLean. We were just talking about how he had kept a pretty good race up to this point. He was restarting second. A lot of damage to that machine right there. And that's probably going to be the end of his night, possibly. Possibly. I don't see any front-end damage to that race car, so he probably will be good to go. It's a huge break for Bob Sire because he had actually lost the draft there. He did not regain to the end of the pack after he came to the pit lane with 1 to go under that last caution. And number 48 with some heavy damage right there on a blown tire, as you can see. He's going to hit the pit lane right here. Tyler Mallon, it did not take him long to get back to the lead. It's going to take a lot to dethrone him here in this one, I'll tell you that much. And I think what keeps on happening, Seth Cole keeps on getting the lucky dog here, and he's going to get it again. He's going to only be 1 lap down this next time. So Seth Cole still has a shot at this victory because we'll probably end up with another caution after this one. These guys staying out pretty good. They don't have to worry about fuel at this point with all the cautions we've been getting. They've been able to keep it together. They're going to come down here, and I would assume we'd still have another pit stop after this one, but after this I'd assume it'd be 1 more to go for these guys. So Mallon leads the field back down the pit lane. And I think Bob Sire stayed out. And with that, Bob Sire takes the lead again. Bob Sire's been playing some very fun strategies here tonight, and it's worked out for him in certain places. Remember the accident we had a few laps ago where everyone was involved. Bob Sire was the leader. He was the only driver not involved in the accident. Mallon wins the race off. Miller second. Johnny Gardner. Chris McLean, it looks like he has repaired the damage to his race car, so that's good for him right there. The number 20 of Shane Sides has retired for the race. I called him as being one of the contenders at the victory, possibly. Apparently too much damage to his race car after this one, and we'll show you what happened here. There is the number 48 of Chris McLean. He was Shane Sides. I think McLean. Oh, wait, no. I think Shane Sides just lost it. And McLean took a hard hit to the outside. Johnny Gardner also got in the outside wall a little bit there as well. We'll replay that again. Try to get a better angle and see what happened here. And yeah, I think McLean kind of came down on Shane Sides and just a bad judgment move there by the 48. Hit the driver's door first on that outside wall. Seth Cole's behind all that, and apparently Shane Sides has called it a night because of that accident. It's a tough break for Shane Sides, and last man standing here at Daytona. We'll have to see who it's going to be once this whole thing is said and done. Mallon's still the leader, or he should be the leader, but he's actually coming back down again. And Bob Sire decided to stay out, so Sire will actually be the leader. Johnny Gardner is now going to be second. Remember, Johnny Gardner, our pole sitter for this event here tonight. And Chris McLean getting involved in an accident will be third. Miller and Mallon, I think they might be working together a little bit. Miller's going to win the race off ahead of Mallon that time by. Pace car lights are still on. And this time, the lap down cars are going to be on the inside again. Remember the last time that happened, and Cam Hart wrecked the entire field. Literally. Almost literally. Didn't wreck Bob Sire, who is our leader right now. It'll be Bob Sire. I think Johnny Gardner has been going to the end of the field intentionally here tonight. Probably doesn't have the best setup on his race car, just doesn't trust it too much and doesn't want to get in the way of these guys. But then again, why not? I mean, you got a shot at victory. I mean, we're closing in on the last quarter of the event here, and you're running in the second position. Why not go for it? So Sire, Gardner, Miller. Apparently Miller is going to be scored ahead of McLean and Tyler Mallon. Those are the only 5 guys on the lead lap. Shane Sides is out of the race. Shane Lake is out of the race. Jeff Goodpaster is also out with Patrick Schaefer in the 82. And I think Bob Sire might be coming down here, so I just wanted to stretch it as far as he could, and I think these guys might be on the edge of possibly being able to make it to the end of the race without having to come down again. Seth Cole's going to come down here. That will hand the lead over after all of that to our pole sitter, Johnny Gardner, who's back in the lead here at Daytona. Lap 57 of 80. We'll restart on lap 58 of 80 with 23 laps to go here at the Great World Center of Racing. It's the Great American Race for these guys, though, here at the World Center of Racing. Johnny Gardner, Andrew Miller, Chris McLean. Tyler Mallon's going to be 4th here. That's going to give us one heck of a restart, I can tell you that much. We've seen him on these restarts just fly past these guys. JT Mayhew came down. Bob Sire will be 5th. And he's the only other guy on the lead lap. Seth Cole and JT Mayhew will be on the inside as lap down cars. This is going to be a fun restart. Johnny Gardner leading the field. This is going to get interesting because we haven't really seen Gardner that much. He led the first 2 laps of the event, and that's been it up until now. So he's got the lead. With Andrew Miller, Chris McLean, Tyler Mallon, and Bob Sire, the only 5 guys on the lead lap. One of those 5 will most likely get the victory. I don't think Seth Cole's going to get the lucky dog all the way back to the lead lap in this one. So whoever's on that outside lane, one of those guys will be your winner here tonight. And to be honest with you, I really don't know who it's going to be because the way this thing has been going, it might not be Tyler Mallon in victory lane. Mallon is definitely the guy to beat. We've seen that. But will he be the guy who does beat the rest of the field? 23 to go. This time by for Johnny Gardner in the number 17, and it looks like Chris McLean is going to back off just a little bit, and they all kind of did. A very, very spread out restart. Gardner is out of here in the 17, and Mallon's not wasting any time. To the inside, no! How about that block right there? Oh boy! Both Mallon and McLean got into it, and they're not going to call the caution here. McLean and Mallon are going to fall off the pack, same with Bob Sire, and this is going to end up being a 2-car race if this thing goes green. If Andrew Miller can get around JT Mayhew, he's got around Cam Hart. If I'm Mayhew, you got to let the second place guy by. Or either that, or he might actually be helping this 37 right now. They're closing right in on Johnny Gardner. Gardner holding on to the lead in the number 17. Mayhew right to the inside. Will Miller find a way to the inside? Gardner leads that one, but Miller's going to drive right by. Andrew Miller, number 37, is going to take the lead away. So the new leader here at Daytona, it's Miller. Mallon is 1.6 seconds behind. He has lost the draft a little bit, but he might catch on to the end of Cam Hart right here. Chris McLean, I think he's too far off, and Bob Sire as well in the 27. The lights are on here at Daytona. It's now a night race here for the Hunt Brothers Pizza Busch Series. 37 staying out front. Johnny Gardner trying to close in. I was wrong about saying that Tyler Mellon was going to be out of this one. The setup on that race car is unbelievably fast, and he has closed in a whole second on these guys. The question is, will he be able to get around them? Johnny Gardner trying on the outside of Andrew Miller. It's not going to work for him right there. There goes Mellon right by the 17. He's going to shoot to the outside and drive right by Andrew Miller. Miller's gonna fall behind and draft with the 59 machine. Next time by, 20 laps to go here at Daytona. Gardner tapped the apron. Great run for Johnny Gardner either way. Andrew Miller trying to draft off of JT Mayhew here. Just don't think Miller has the car to beat Mellon though. Mellon, the best car, brother. Best car for Mellon here tonight, no question about it, but that might end it for Seth Cole, and another restart's going to ensue here at Daytona. And there's the 48 machine. He isn't too happy with Seth Cole, apparently. Chris McLean, again, involved in an accident. Well, it's not over yet, but Tyler Mellon's the leader, so pretty much is over. Let's see what happened here to Seth Cole. They were drafting with Bob Sire right here. And Cole just lost it again. Ran right into the 48 machine. And Seth Cole has pretty much been the cause of half of the cautions here tonight. And this racetrack's kind of odd. I can't tell if the lights are on or not because there's still daylight over there. But it's significantly darker around this racetrack than what it was earlier on. And Seth Cole lost it again. Tyler Mellon, Andrew Miller, Johnny Gardner, Bob Sire, and Chris McLean. The only 5 on the lead lap. After that, McLean might get knocked out. Gardner's going to come down. So Miller will remain as the second place guy, and Mellon will remain as the leader. Going to be 18 to go next time by, so it's going to be at least 17 laps to go when we get to racing, if not less. I think Seth Cole's going to still try to stay out there. He's actually only 1 lap down now. I think he got the lucky dog. Cause of the accident, he got the lucky dog. Seth Cole, definitely the diehard racer of the event, I'll tell you that much. He's been keeping that thing in this game for quite some time. JT Mayhew, I gotta give a lot of props to him. He was 5 laps down at one point. He's only 3 laps down now. He was involved in a lot. I think on the 3rd caution of the race with Seth Cole, but other than that, I mean, he is shown to have a very fast race car. He's actually been one to compete with Tyler Mellon, and just think if he was still on the lead lap in this race, he might actually be a threat to Mellon for getting this win. Gardner's off, and so is Cam Hart. Remember the big accident that Cam Hart started? Involved the entire field. Bob Sire is the only guy in the field who has yet to been involved in anything here tonight. Currently runs in the 3rd position, but I'm wondering if that car lost a cylinder because he has not been keeping with the draft well at all. I think it's definitely had its fair share of issues. Hopefully the lights go up this time, but I think we're still going to have another lap here. Can't really guarantee much. Mellon came down a couple cautions ago, so it looks like he's going to stay out here, and he is hoping But we get an extra lap of caution here so we can make it on fuel. I don't know what the fuel window is exactly. And there will be an extra lap of caution here, so at least 2 more laps. It'll be 16 to go when we restart here at Daytona. It's closing in very, very fast. This race to be over in a jiffy. Well, probably won't be a jiffy because we'll probably have at least 2 more cautions before the finish of the race. Knowing the way these guys have been racing here tonight, that's how it'll be. Bob Sire is pretty much the biggest dark horse in this one so far. He has led quite a few laps, but as of late, he has been kind of slow on the racetrack. Johnny Gardner in the 17 got a few there under that last restart and green flag run, and Chris McLean still has a shot as he runs in the 5th position. Seth Cole back out on the racetrack there. I'd like to thank you guys watching here tonight from Daytona. The Hunt Brothers Pizza Tongue-tied Hunt Brothers Pizza Busch Series here for the Throwback United Racing Network. It'll be 16 laps to go next time by, or sorry, 17 to go next time by 16 to go when we restart. Tyler Mallon leading the field with Andrew Miller and Bob Sire running in 3rd. Johnny Gardner will be 4th. Chris McLean will be 5th. Guys lap down, still in the event, include J.T. Mayhew, Cam Hart, and Seth Cole. Those are the only guys still left in the race. Guys who have retired include Shane Sides, Shane Lake, Jeff Goodpaster, and Patrick Schaefer. Lights out this time. Give us 16 laps to go at Daytona. Tyler Mallon still out front. He has been the dominant guy of the race. That car has been considerably faster than everybody else. And I would be surprised if somebody other than Tyler Mallon were to get the victory here tonight. I think Mallon will get the most laps led. There's an extra bonus point for him right there. It's 43 for the win. Point for leading a lap. Another point for leading the most laps. So Mallon's probably going to get those 2 bonus points and probably, maybe, even the 43. But there's still 4 hungry guys looking to dethrone him from the top position. They're going to do everything they possibly can to find a way around Tyler Mallon these final few laps here at Daytona. And one of those guys who could be a beneficiary to everyone behind Mallon is this guy, J.T. Mayhew, who has significantly been faster than a lot of these guys and has been on par with Tyler Mallon here tonight. The only thing is, he's 3 laps down and was involved in some accidents. About the 3rd caution of the race earlier on with Seth Cole. That has since put him on the inside lane for a majority of these restarts. But he has got a fast car. One of the cleanest looking cars out on the racetrack is the number 38 machine. And, as we're coming to the restart, he's going to be a factor into who gets this victory here tonight. I think Johnny Gardner's on the inside for some reason. He's not supposed to be there. He is a lap, or lead lap car, I should say, and he got in the way of Seth Cole right there. I was wondering why he was down there. Looks like Seth Cole and Cam Hart are going to be at the back of the longest line. Probably got EOLs. But J.T. Mayhew is going to be the guy. Watch out for on this restart. And Johnny Gardner looking to get around Bob Sire there. I think that 27's got a lot of issues. He just does not get going. There goes McLean to the inside. And Andrew Miller trying to draft right with the 59 to have any shot at getting around him. McLean for 3rd. Johnny Gardner unable to get around Bob Sire. And Tyler Mallon's able to get J.T. Mayhew in between him and Andrew Miller. Only 8 cars in the race, only 5 on the lead lap. Tyler Mallon leading the field at Daytona. Here comes the 37 of Andrew Miller, trying to find a way around Mayhew, or trying to use Mayhew to get around Tyler Mallon. Bob Sire will remain in the third position. He's closing back in on these guys, and so is Johnny Gardner. Looks like Chris McLean. He's got too much damage to continue. He's got Cam Hart behind him. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Black and right there. That has been the cause of a lot of accidents here tonight. But Chris McLean probably a little frustrated after the way this race has gone for him. He was second at one point. I don't think he's led a lap. I think he's one of the few guys to lead a lap in this race. Cam Hart, Seth Cole have yet to lead a lap, but these four guys who are out front have led laps in this race. JT Mayhew has yet to do so, but he is 3 laps down, actually 2 laps down at this point. Number 52 holding on to the lead. And he's got that help from Mayhew. As long as Mayhew stays right behind him, nobody's going to get around Tyler Mallon for this win. Great night for Andrew Miller either way. A second place run. He has been in the lead draft. He's been up front majority of this event. Got to give a big shout out to Bob Sire. He's played an odd strategy in this one. Stayed out under that caution where he had the big accident. The caution before that big accident, I should say, and avoided it. So he gets major props for that one. And Johnny Gardner, our pole sitter, has found his way back in the lead draft. And looks like it might be a 4th place finish for Johnny Gardner here tonight after all is said and done. These 3 guys are still with each other, and you might want to watch for another caution happening between these guys. Cam Hart was the cause of that huge accident earlier on, and number 48 of Chris McLean has had his fair share of issues, and Seth Cole was the cause of the first 3 cautions. So this is definitely the danger zone, and there we go again. And they all got involved. As you can tell, I know what's going on out here, and I could tell that that was about to happen. The yellow will come out again. And oh my goodness. There was no need for that. There really wasn't. Tyler Mallon's probably getting a little frustrated. He was going to drive away with this thing. Bob Sire on the outside wall as they race back to the line. It'll be under 10 laps to go, which means that the lap down cars will not be on the inside anymore, which also means that JT Mayhew is going to be right behind Mallon. He'll be splitting him and Miller on the restart, given that he does not decide to fall back. We'll have to see how that all plays out for those guys. But we saw the accident happen live. We don't need to see it again. We've seen enough of that here tonight. As the number 59 of Tyler Mallon hopes that this restart that's going to be coming up right here will be the last one. Probably the 8th or 9th caution here tonight at Daytona. Miller running second still. Johnny Gardner's now third. He got around Bob Sire as they were racing back to the line. There's Cam Hart. There's Seth Cole. There's Chris McLean. All involved in that action. We will review it. Give us something to do. Unfortunately, they do have the automatic cautions turned on, and that's why things like this bring out the yellow, and this did not need to happen. All these guys were miles behind the lead draft, and right there you see Cam Hart get right in the Chris McLean, and then the 44 machine of Seth Cole, an innocent victim. Seth Cole's been involved in, I think, at least 7 of these accidents here tonight. Sure, he can't wait for this race to be over. A frustrating one for Chris McLean, I can say that much, because he had a great run going for him earlier on, and he got involved in an accident. He actually got involved with Tyler Mallon. Mallon cut on him earlier on in the race, and I think that was actually right before, it was right after the big crash we had midway through. That big crash happened right at halfway, about lap 41, when Cam Hart took out the entire field, minus Bob Sire. I've been calling him Rob Sire in this race. Bob Sire. Pretty close. They both stand for Robert. And I'm not used to the names. I have a hard time getting them, and I haven't even heard of some of these names up until literally 2 hours ago. So please excuse me if I've been messing your names up tonight, guys. I apologize. I truly do apologize. Mallon Oh, he came down the pit lane. Who was the leader that last lap? Johnny Gardner, I think, because he has the first pit stall. Bob Sire's going to actually try to stretch it here. Mallon was second. Miller was third. And I think McLean, after all that, is going to stay on the lead lap in fourth. But he's got a lot of damage, and he's not able to really keep up with these guys. Bob Sire here, this is going to be an interesting one. I think he's going to try to stretch it. I don't know what Johnny Gardner's doing. He just came off the pit lane. So it's going to be less than 10 laps to go when we restart. That means that the inside lane will not have any lap down cars. And because Mallon came down, the 38 might be able to take the free pass here. We'll have to see if he does. And actually does look like Sire's going to come down here. So Bob Sire coming down there in the 27. That'll hand the lead back over to Tyler Mallon. So 10 laps to go at Daytona. Tyler Mallon is the leader in the number 59 machine, followed by Andrew Miller, and it's going to be a different order because all these guys coming back down the pit lane to top off. So I think JT Mayhew also came down. I think that's him right there. Johnny Gardner's actually going to stay out as well. He's third. Lights are still on the pace car, so it will be 9 laps to go when we restart, I do believe. 5 cars still in the lead lap. Tyler Mallon, Andrew Miller, Johnny Gardner. Chris McLean will actually be 4th here, and then Bob Sider will be 5th. The number 59, Tyler Mallon, been the dominant guy of the race. And from what I've been seeing, he's definitely got the car to beat. That thing is wicked fast around this place. We'll probably be interviewing Tyler Mallon at the end of the night in Victory Lane here at Daytona. If you heard a click, that was my pedals for my wheel whenever I race. Got them right under my desk, and I just mess with them when I'm on my desk doing stuff. And I'm doing school, doing a race, I'm just pressing them. Thankfully, I'm not in the race. I'm not affecting a car. Because if I was, a lot of people would probably be mad at me. But it's fun pressing these pedals. I like doing it. It's fun to do it in an actual race. Thing is, the reason why I didn't race this one is because it's open setup, and I am stupid. So we'll just leave it at that. Tyler Mallon, I highly doubt he's coming. Oh, he is! Oh boy, this is going to get interesting. We might have ourselves a fuel race. Mallon's coming down. The pace car lights are going to go off this time. And Andrew Miller is now taking the lead here at Daytona. Okay, so things are changing up here. Miller will restart the race in first place. Mallon's going to top off. I'm thinking he's going to be able to drive around all these guys, but what if he's unable to? What if he gets caught up in something and they don't throw the caution? That almost happened earlier on. He's going to go ahead and take tires and everything, so we'll have to see. Actually, I'm wrong about these guys not starting in the inside lane. They will. Normally, under official rule, they wouldn't be doing that. But, I guess they're deciding that that's what they're going to do. I think Johnny Gardner might let Tyler Mallon go here. And it does appear that that is what's going to happen. Maybe. Might just be running the apron to save fuel. I don't know. Yeah, he will let Mallon go. So Mallon will be 4th on the restart. Gardner will be 5th on the restart. And the cars on the inside will be JT Mayhew, Cam Hart, and Seth Cole. All 2 laps down, and if you're Cam Hart, 11 laps down. Andrew Miller might get this win. It will be 8 laps to go when we restart. And now he's the leader. Tyler Mallon's been the dominant car of the event. It's been very hard to pass him. I have not seen one guy pass him for the lead on the racetrack. It's only been because of pit strategy. But Miller in position to possibly get this victory if he can hold off these guys. And I think if there's anybody left in this race who can defeat Tyler Mallon, it's Andrew Miller. But 8 laps is a long time for Tyler Mallon to get back to the lead. So he's only restarting in the 4th position. I don't know what Johnny Gardner's doing, but he's falling way back. He does not want to have anything to do with this. Back to racing at Daytona. Andrew Miller getting a push there from Bob Sire. Switch of lanes there for Chris McLean. I don't know if that's legal or not, if they're going to call him, but Andrew Miller now right behind J.T. Mayhew. And Mallon's not getting the run up top, so we'll have to see if Miller can hold him off. But here he comes. He is getting the run up top. Bob Sire running second. Mallon will clear McLean. And now the 3 leaders all on each other. Johnny Gardner in the outside wall. But he is at the end of the field. Mallon to the inside for second. He's going to get around Bob Sire. Andrew Miller's going to do all he can to block him, but that 59 has fresh tires, and right to the outside goes Tyler Mallon on Andrew Miller. At the line, it will be Mallon in the 59 who gets the run on the outside with 7 laps to go at Daytona. I think the best friend for Andrew Miller right now is J.T. Mayhew. Will Mayhew hold up Mallon, giving Miller and Bob Sire a shot at victory? Or will Mallon drive away like we all expected? He's actually going to get to the inside of Mayhew right here. He wants to put Mayhew in between him and Miller. I think Mayhew has the 2nd fastest car out here, but the fastest car is definitely Tyler Mallon in the 59. Looking to pull away from Andrew Miller right there. 6 to go this time. Andrew Miller trying to close in on the draft of J.T. Mayhew, but there's not much going on for him right there. The rest of the field is all spread out. They're not on each other, so fortunately, we shouldn't have to worry about them. Tyler Mallon still out front. 6 to go at Daytona. Considering the way this race has gone and all the twists and turns we've seen tonight, kind of a anticlimactic end of the race for Tyler Mallon to win, because he's obviously been the guy to beat, obviously the best setup, obviously the faster car. No one has been able to keep him behind. On these restarts, he has been going around these guys without any drafting help. But this 38 right now is holding on pretty good, even though he is a lap down. You got to give it to him, though. He was 5 laps down at one point, now a lap down. He's been given the free pass, been able to hang on. And it looks like he's going to get a 6th place finish after all this. 5 to go at Daytona for Tyler Mallon. 0.3 of a second behind for the number 37 of Andrew Miller. They're all going to get around Cam Hart. No issue there. Andrew Miller and Bob Sire are still right here behind the 38 of J.T. Mayhew. They're trying to stay with Mallon, but they're just not going to be able to close in. And I really do think Tyler Mallon's going to come home with the victory here tonight, but you never know. 4 laps to go for Tyler Mallon. Help from J.T. Mayhew, who's a lap down. He's pushing this 59 past Miller and the number 27. We'll have to see if the number 59 get past it all by Mayhew, but if Mayhew is smart enough, he's just going to let him stay ahead of him. Andrew Miller has not been falling back at all, but he's not been able to close in on the 38, and that might change things up a little bit. Mayhew's just going to drop back and let these guys race. He's going to stop helping the number 59. We'll have to see if Miller can close in on the draft of Tyler Mallon. If that's the case, then it could get a little interesting. 3 to go at Daytona for Tyler Mallon. Bob Sire running 3rd, pushing Andrew Miller, trying to find a way to the back bumper of Tyler Mallon for this win. They might have a shot. But the setup on that 59 has been superior compared to everyone else here tonight. And it's going to take a miracle for somebody else to get this victory. Number 37. Holding on to second. On the inside. Trying to take the shorter way around the racetrack. He's closing in a little bit there on Tyler Mallon. This might be close. He pulled in a little bit there. Gonna be 2 to go for Tyler Mallon this time by. The point of no return. If we get a caution, the race will be over. The number 37, Andrew Miller. With some help from Bob Sire. They are closing in on Mallon, but will they have enough horsepower to get around the 59? They do also have some help from JT Mayhew here as well. He's pushing these guys. A 3-car train trying to get to the single-car train of Tyler Mallon. Mallon up high. Miller down low. Mallon in the wall. Tyler Mallon has hit the wall. Andrew Miller takes the lead. And they wreck behind them. Andrew Miller in the number 37 will take the white flag under caution. That'll do it from Daytona. And Andrew Miller is the winner in the Hunt Brothers Pizza Busch Series race at Daytona. Mallon overshot the corner, hit the outside wall, and was collected with the number 27 of Bob Sire. Absolutely unbelievable. This is it right here. Andrew Miller will win the race under caution. This will be the first time ever. I mean, you can say that Rockingham race was a win. We didn't get to see it. I'm going to consider this his first win on Napa Fan. He's been in a few of my offline races, and he's not even come close to winning one of those. He's going to finally win a race on Napa Fan. And this time, he gets to drive the car himself. I cannot believe it. He's going to do it. Number 37, going to hold on. And he had no contact on that last lap either. And Tyler Mallon just overshot the corner. I do not know what the deal was there. We'll have to talk to him and see. Mallon will officially finish in 5th. You know, I was calling it that Tyler Mallon was going to win this race because I didn't think he was going to make a mistake. But he did. And Andrew Miller is going to win here tonight at Daytona in the Hunt Brothers Pizza Busch Series race. Andrew Miller gets the season opening victory here tonight. How about that? The official standings: Andrew Miller, Bob Sire, Chris McLean with a 3rd place run, Johnny Gardner and Tyler Mallon, the 5 guys finishing on the lead lap here tonight. And Miller gonna come home with the victory. Tyler Mallon and Bob Sire. Bob Sire, he was behind all that. He was not the cause of the accident. Well, not the cause of Tyler Mallon losing the race, but let's review that. Let's see what happened. Definitely one of the craziest finishes I have ever seen. One of the most unexpected finishes I've ever seen as well. And here it is. Tyler Mallon, he just went high. I think he was trying to get the run on the outside, and he lost it into the outside wall. And Andrew Miller just drives right by. He comes down, and Bob Sire just didn't know what he was doing. Didn't know what Mallon was doing, I should say, and got into him, spun the 59 around, and Miller comes home with the victory. Andrew Miller gonna burn it down here at Daytona. He's stealing another victory from Tyler Mallon. Oh boy. We're all just messing around out there right now, but Andrew Miller. This is our Sunoco fueling victories. Andrew Miller gets it done at Daytona. And Jeff Goodpasture, he put the record player on and spun to some disco tonight. I've never seen that one before, but I think that's an online-only description, but that means disconnected, in case you didn't know, but that's what happened to Goodpaster. He was actually one of the more dominant guys earlier on in the race. Go ahead and replay this, or save it, I should say. Export it out, because that's always important, and we'll also save the replay, because, hey, you never know when I want to watch that over again, but we'll do that. Make sure we have it, just in case somebody else forgets to save it. We got it ourselves. Hopefully get Andrew Miller in here soon and interview him as the winner of the event. Also interview Shane Lake, the league runner. And then that'll probably be it. We might also interview Tyler Mallon there, because we want to know what happened that caused him to overshoot the corner there. But we'll see if we get somebody in here soon. And they're all in here, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see if we can get somebody to interview here for this event. And definitely a lot to be said about this race here tonight at Daytona. Andrew Miller gets it done after a wild next to last lap here tonight. As you can see right there, the official standings and the good old music. We're going to play that all the way through for you guys, because I love it. Andrew Miller gets it done here tonight at Daytona. And I think that's who we got in here right now. I mean, actually, also got Shane Lake as well. But first of all, congratulations, Andrew, on the win in the first race of the season. What was going through your mind on that next to last lap of the race?
I was just thinking to myself, okay, if Tyler keeps running that middle lane, there might be hope. But he had the dominant setup. That's all there is to it. And then I saw what happened there. It's like, okay, we might have a shot. And then I had a problem there. So that was all I could say is, boom.
Got it.
I'm stoked about that one. And let's see, are they in the chat?
It's just you and Shane right now.
I'm just looking through.
Yeah, but definitely want to know what was going through Tyler Mallon's head right there. I don't know what was going on there, but obviously, and we noticed it too in the booth, that Tyler Mallon definitely had the dominant car, definitely the dominant setup. Did you ever think at any point he would be able to be stopped? I mean, we were seeing on those restarts him flying by you guys each and every time.
I didn't think so. I was concerned about the 27 behind me, racing him for second. That was my honest hope, but I never thought that I would have really had that much of a chance unless he had a problem, and lo and behold, he did. I mean, all credit to him. He drove a phenomenal race himself. He was beating himself up a little bit, but I mean, he was congratulatory at the same time, and props to him. But I cannot deny that I am rather hyped up. That is cool.
I can definitely imagine. Oh, congratulations once again, Andrew, on the victory, and hopefully that'll be many more to come from that one here in all the leagues that you run in. So congratulations once again, and
thank you, sir.
Party on, man.
Party on. Car number 37. What we're talking about. Thank you, man.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
User left your channel.
So I think we also want to interview Tyler here. I don't know if he wants to or not, but Shane Lake's in here. And thank you once again for letting me do this. It was definitely a very fun event, especially near the end to do. And yeah, I'm glad everyone was able to see that. And thank you once again for letting me put this on.
Hey, man, thanks for getting the league out there. And also, thanks for getting the wife's company, Jules Bipolar, out there as well on top of the ticker. These guys put on a really, really great show. And You know, the old number 3 Goodwrench Chevy was there for a while, and unfortunately we missed the setup a little bit early. But once we threw a little bit of tape on the nose, the car was actually doing quite well right up until that whole issue happened. But you know what? That's racing. We still got top 10 in points, and we'll just take it to Rockingham next week.
Well, thank you once again, and hoping that next week's a good race for you guys. I don't think I'll be able to make it, unfortunately, for the next few weeks, but it was still a blast recording this one for you guys, and yeah, good luck on the success of the league in the future, and hopefully I'll be able to return soon.
I appreciate it, man. We're going to be running Friday here in the Cup 2000 cars, so we got another good run at Daytona coming, and we got great seasons coming up.
Yeah, thank you once again, and that's Shane Lake, the organizer of this league. I believe he finished in the 7th position tonight. Am I right about that? No, you were lower. You did wreck out.
10th.
10th, yes. I did save it for you, though. I did save exported the file in case no one did that. So if you need it, just let me know.
I got you, just in case mine didn't save right.
Yeah, okay. But thanks, man, and yeah, hope to do this one another time soon. So yeah, all I can say is thank you.
I'll let you know for sure.
So that's Shane Lake, runner of this league. We'll see if Tyler Mellon comes in here or not. But if not, thank you guys very much for watching here tonight from Daytona.
User left your channel.
Definitely a very entertaining event here for the first race of the Hunt Brothers Pizza Busch Series, and Andrew Miller coming home with the victory.
User joined your channel.
And one last interview before we call it a night. Tyler Mellon, that one's gotta hurt. But what happened there on that next to last lap?
I stopped paying attention and I drove it into the wall.
Yeah, I feel you. But obviously you had the dominant car of the race. You definitely had the best setup, and I don't think anyone would have thought that someone other than you would have won. Even I didn't think so. I was calling it early. I was saying you're going to win the race, and then you overshoot the corner, and I just lose it. Of course, you can go back and watch the replay, but still, I hate it for you. You had a really good car. You deserved the win, but unfortunately, you just couldn't hold on to it. But either way, you still had a great car, and other than that, pretty sure it was a good race for you. You did have a couple accidents there. What were you thinking during those?
Yeah, there were a couple of boneheads out there, but you know, what can you do? Yeah, I'm sure you saw a little bumping out of the caution. Got that out of my system, so not really mad anymore at anyone, just kind of upset with myself for that second to last lap. So
yeah, well, either way, congratulations on the good run, and there'll definitely be more to come for you. I know that much, so don't get too hard on yourself. Trust me, this has come from the guy who overshot his pit stall when he was running 3rd at the Net Zero race. Had a good chance of winning, and completely messed his day up because of that. So I know exactly how it feels. Trust me.
Yeah.
We've all been there. But either way, thanks for being a good sport, and I know Andrew greatly appreciated that. And you know, you got a lot going for you. I know that. I can tell you that much. But Tyler Mellon finished 5th here today on the lead lap. I believe he did leave the most laps in the event, so he did get a bonus point for that. So that'll be beneficial towards the championship for you there. But thank you once again, Tyler, and good luck on the future.
Thank you.
So that'll do it from Daytona here in the Hunt Brothers Pizza Busch Series. And had a blast doing this race. It was an 80-lap event. Didn't think I'd be able to do the whole thing, but we were able to do so, and I'm glad we were. So another thank you to Shane Lake for putting this on and for letting me do this, and thanks to everyone else who was watching here tonight. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Congratulations to Andrew Miller on the victory. And that is it for me. I believe this weekend we got the Iowa races and the ARCA Racing Series and the Turkey Hill Truck Series, and past that, we got a big weekend next weekend for Thanksgiving. All the offline races we got here on F-Fan, so stick around and check those out. Thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Andrew Miller once again, and I will see you guys later.